Okay? So, like I say, I'm starting with simple ideas, though. For some of you, though, if you're used to basic selection tools and only using them in the obvious ways, where if you're self-taught, you might not know that kind of stuff. Okay? Let's see. Then, if I'm using any basic selection tool, usually when you click, it's going to start in the upper left corner. And you drag, if you drag down to the right, you get the lower right corner. It doesn't have to be that way. If instead you hold down the Option key before you click the mouse, watch, I'll click right in the center of this globe. I'm holding down Option, Alt and Windows. Now that's going to define the center of whatever it is you're making. So if you want a circle centered on something, sometimes if you want to select like an eyeball or something, it's easier to find the center than to find where the upper left corner of a rectangle would be that contains the eye. So you end up coming over here and grabbing your elliptical tool, and if it was easy to know where the center was, you hold on the Option key, click in the center, and then start pulling out. Remember, you can also, you have to keep that Option key held down, by the way, until you release the mouse button. Otherwise, it'll stop thinking of it as the center. You can also, though, then hold on the space bar and move it. So you can combine any of these ideas we talked about. So Option means go from the center. Then the other thing when you're using those tools is if you're clicking and dragging and you need a perfect circle or a perfect square, hold down the Shift key. Shift constrains to a perfect circle or perfect square. Okay? Let's see if there was anything else in there. I think that's about it. Yeah, for that tool. Now let's take a look at a few of the other tools. The lasso tool. How can we make it more useful? Well, let's look at a different portion of this image so we don't get too bored with what we're working on. And the lasso tool, usually just click and drag and you create a free-form shape, just tracing out what you've drawn. If you don't create a complete shape, then Photoshop will close that shape for you by connecting the dots where you let go and where you started. Sometimes that can create odd-looking items if you're not in an obvious spot. You know, you can get weird-looking stuff. So usually I end up ending right where I began. So let's say I'm zoomed up on this to be really precise, and I want to start selecting it. I'm not going to be precise about it because that's not what I'm trying to teach you right now. But let's say that I'm following that. I get to the edge of my screen, and what am I supposed to do? It's like, can't do anything. Well, when you're in the lasso tool, try pressing the space bar. With the space bar, you can scroll. So then you can continue going down here. I haven't released the mouse button yet. And I hit the space bar and scroll. I can keep going, selecting this. Imagine I was precise there. But doesn't that make the lasso tool a little bit more useful? If you weren't aware of that, then the lasso tool can be a real pain. Okay, then with the lasso tool, there's actually two main versions of it, and that is there is the lasso tool and there's the polygonal lasso tool. By polygonal, it means that it makes straight line segments. So you could come over here and click on the edge of this and then just kind of do it as a series of clicks. You see a lot of people doing this and clicking a gazillion times to go around the edge of something. You again press the space bar again, you can scroll, but polygonal lasso is going to make straight lines. Not so useful here when we have a curved shape. Might have been more useful up, if we get back up to that sign, up here where we have more straight areas. I could click on the corner of this, go to the next area that changes, and just kind of click on each corner of where things are. Imagine I'm getting that just right. Okay, so you probably used the polygonal lasso tool before. But bummer, right here, that really shouldn't be a polygon. It's curved, right? What I could do is just go right across it like this, and later on come back with the what do you call circular marquee tool, and say take away that top part. Or check this out. Here's the trick. When you're using the polygonal lasso tool, if you want to make a free-form shape where you just draw it, what you want to do is get to the point right where you want to start drawing freeform, and you want to hold down the Option key. If you hold down the Option key when you're in the polygonal lasso, and in fact,